The Transmigrant. Written by Kristi Saare Duarte. Narrated by John Eric Preston. Chapter 1. Capernaum, Galilee, A.D. 1. Flap, flippity-flap, flap. The yellow butterfly fluttered its black-tipped wings in desperation against the synagogue ceiling, unaware of the open window only a few feet away. On a mat below, 5-year-old Yeshua lounged against his father's shoulder, squeezed in between the other Yehudi men of the village. His gaze wandered to the women's side of the dividing curtain, where his mother sat cross-legged with his younger siblings. They were still too small to understand the words of God, not like Yeshua. No, God and Yeshua were already the best of friends. On top of a wooden pulpit at the front, flickering oil lamps danced in the breeze, and the scent of incense filled the snug meeting room with magic. Yeshua tried to keep pace with the grown-ups, who swayed back and forth, chanting monotonous words of praise. He longed to one day be just like the Rabbi who leaned over the pulpit as if he carried the conscience of the entire world on his shoulders and read out loud from the Torah scrolls in Hebrew, the priest's own language. Yeshua would stand in front of all the neighbors and with a steady voice teach them the true words of God, words of wisdom. The rabbi brushed his wrinkled hand through the remaining wisps of grey hair on his head and lowered his tasseled headscarf onto his shoulders. When he spoke, the ambience changed like an evening sky, shifting from blazing orange to purple and pink. It became warm and vivid, as if angels had touched everyone's heart. "Esteemed men, children of the Lord," the rabbi exclaimed in a voice that could have awakened even the deadest corpse from eternal slumber. "Do you not see how he loves you more than your fellow villagers? And still you cannot, should not, ignore his commandments. For you, he created Sabbath as a day to rest, not hurry. Forsake your worries today and revel in the divine. Ah! What a magnificent day to celebrate in God, to enjoy silence and seclusion, to sit still and hear his voice speak to us." Yeshua's chest filled with a tender glow, with paradise. And just like the graceful butterfly above, he remained oblivious of the invisible chains that bound him. But Sabbath came only once a week. On other days, a sleepy Yeshua rose before sunrise and followed his father to the workshop around the corner from their home, where he spent his days filing corners of tables and doors with an iron rasp until his hands burned with blisters. That's what boys did. They adopted their father's trade. It didn't seem fair. Filing wood was for babies. But his father said only big boys could use the fun tools like the saw, the plane, and the chisels. Yeshua peered through the window at the black-headed gulls that soared across the sky, free to go anywhere they chose, and he drifted into daydreams. One day, as Yeshua was helping his father unpack a delivery of cedar logs for a tax collector's table, 2 impossibly tall, white-robed men staggered into the workshop. They had to bow their turbaned heads to enter. "Water," one of them croaked in broken Aramaic, his eyes bloodshot with thirst. He slumped onto the floor. "I please beg of you, water." The log in Yeshua's arms fell to the floor with a bang. God said to always help the needy. He squeezed his way between the giants and ran out the door and around the corner to their house, where his mother was baking bread in the courtyard. Amma! 2 men! Foreigners! Come quickly and bring water." "Who has come?" She frowned, but didn't move. "Come! They need water!" Yeshua pulled her hand with all his weight.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?